Hi guys, this is Gun Nizzles here. I'm just going to show you today how to take apart the lower receiver and upper receiver on my Bushmaster AR-15 M4. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, to remove the lower receiver from the top receiver, we have two pins. We have a pin right here and we have a pin right here. So how to take those two pins out, we're going to turn over the gun and you'll see there's another pin here and a pin right there. Now, you have to do this on the first shot, otherwise you're going to have trouble opening it. The way I like to do it is I like to place the gun on the top so it is flat and level throughout the gun, so that it doesn't pinch anywhere. Because as soon as it pinches, you have to push them back in, and then you have to, make sure it's level again and all this other stuff. So you pop that pin out, and then you take this one and you pop it out all the way as well, and then you'll see that the top and bottom receivers just come apart. Now, the bottom receiver, there's not much you really need to do. You have your hammer, your trigger down below here, your trigger down below in here, and then you have your trigger pin and your hammer pin right here. I don't want to take them apart right now because it's a long process to put them back in. There's a spring and then another spring below. You have to make sure they go in the right way. So I'm not going to go too much into detail into there, but it's just, that's the bottom receiver. So I'm going to put this one to the side, and I'm going to show you the top receiver. Now, on the top receiver, it's very simple. All you do is you pull the handle back, the bolt pulls right out. I'm going to show you how to do the bolt now in my second thing, and then this just pops out and straight down, and out it comes. And that is basically the disassembly of the top receiver. There's nothing really else you can take off. Just make sure you clean really well inside there. Make sure you clean the gas tube and the where pullback thing goes. Okay. Other than that, we're going to put that aside, and then what I'm going to do is show you how to do this. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take apart the bolt and run the bolt carrier, and I'll show you some of the little things that you can do. So first off, there's this tiny little pin right here that we have to remove. So I'm just going to use a little thing to remove it. Got to get it right in there, perfect, and there it is. Pop it right out. It is tiny. Very, very, very tiny. Okay, so let's put that aside. Now once you put that aside, if we look here, we can pull the firing pin right out, because that little pin holds the firing pin. That is your firing pin, nice and clean. Just finished cleaning the gun. Our next step is going to remove this little bolt right here. Alright, so now how we do that is we just turn it to the side. Oops. Turn it over, and that little bolt falls right out. And you can see inside that little hole right there, that is what it goes into. So now what we can do is we can pull it out, and there is our bolt. And then that's our bolt carrier. Okay. Now you have to clean these pretty thoroughly. The way you do that is just clean it off. Right here is where a lot of guns will pop up. Inside here is where a lot of guns will pop up, and just behind the back of the head here. You have to clean it with like a copper Brillo brush or something along those lines. This one I don't have to clean too well because it's a no-fail bolt and bolt carrier. So all I have to do is wipe it down. Occasionally there's a pin right here. That pin is very important. That holds your extractor. Inside here is a little, looks like an eraser and a spring. To take this out, you just pump the pin through. Make sure you do it upside down. Squeeze while you push the pin through, and then it'll drop right out into your hand and you'll be good to go. And you replace it the exact same way. Turn it upside down, put the bolt back on top, put the pin in, and you're good to go. Alright, so now let's put it back in. Now there's a specific way you put it back in. If you're looking at the bolt receiver from the top, right, what you want to do is you want to take the extractor pin and place it on the right hand side of the bolt. And you want to put it right in. You want to push it all the way in until you can see that the hole lines up. So you see no hole, and then you see the hole. Hole appears right there. Then we're going to take a little pin, and see the pin has got a corresponding hole. We have to take the pin, put it in sideways originally, and then we have to turn the bolt, turn this little pin can be a little pain sometimes. You turn it so it's facing the other way. Alright, then what I like to do is I like to take it and hold it bolt down, take my firing pin, drop it straight down into the hole. You'll see, there it is, right there, firing pin. And I let it push in all the way. And then if you look through this little hole, you should see that you can see right through it. See how I can see right through that little hole? Then what I can do is I can take my little pin, I can place it back into the hole on my first shot. And now, if I do this, everything should come in. Now if I look at the firing pin, you should see no firing pin. When I push it in, you should see the firing pin. And that is how you take apart and put the bolt back together. There are technical terms, I don't know, I don't really pay attention to technical terms. I just put it back together and that's how it happens. And I think it'll be good. So again, you remove the pin first, drop the firing pin, push the bolt back, take the little pin out. Pin must go vertically, it must turn sideways, then pull it out. You can turn it over and just tap it in your hand and it'll pop out. Take the bolt out, then you can do the bolt extractor back, put the bolt back, make sure the hole lines up, turn it back so it's horizontal like this, put the bolt in, make sure you can see through the hole, and then once you can see through the hole, place the little pin back and your bolt be ready to go. And the way you can check to make sure it's ready is, remember, if it's out, it's out, and if you push it all the way back in, you should see the bolt. No, not the bolt, the firing pin. Alright? And that's that, guys. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put it back together. So I'm going to take my upper receiver, take this, I'm going to put this in until I can hear it click. There's like a little line inside here that if I just feed it right, it'll drop right in, and you can see that I would be able to start moving it back and forth. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave it out a bit so that I can take where the gas comes in, and I'm just going to put it right back in until I can hear it click. Once it's clicked, I can take my bottom receiver, line it up perfectly, I can snap one in, the other one will go in perfectly. So I gotta push forward, oops, one in, two in, then what we'll do is we pull back perfect, right, pull the trigger, trigger's perfect, back one more time, pull the trigger, and we are good to go and ready to roll and ready to fire. That is that. Any more questions, feel free to leave comments. And I hope you guys think I'm getting better at videos. If you have any types of recommendations for me and how to do my videos, I'll more than take the criticism. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.